Good morning, graduates, parents, family members, honored guests. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Waterloo. My name is Feridun Hamdulahpur, and I have the honor of serving as President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. And it's my privilege to welcome you all to campus for this momentous occasion to celebrate the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates. Not quite yet. A few more steps. However, before we start this exciting day of celebrations and tradition, it is important to reflect, acknowledge, and pay respect to the elders, past and present, of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. We are gathered today on their traditional territory as the University of Waterloo sits on the Haldimand Tract, the land promised to the Six Nations, people along the Grand River. If you are able to stand up, while I invite Birgit Mushinski to sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté les pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Birgit. Please be seated. And it's my honor now to invite our Chancellor, Mr. Dominic Barton, to the podium.
Well, welcome. Welcome and good morning, particularly to our graduands, to family, friends, supporters of our graduands, to the President, the Provost, and our faculty, and a special welcome also to Donna Strickland, who I didn't know Nobel's Prize winners were good at carrying maces as well, but it's wonderful to have you here as well. I wanted to do three brief things this morning as we get started. The first is the beginning of the congratulations. I then want to talk a little bit about how the world's changing and why we're going to need your leadership over the next 20 to 30 years, and then move to the practicalities of the convocation. So first and foremost, congratulations to the soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2019. Could you all join me in the first of many of these? I also want us all to say congratulations and thank you to our family, friends, and supporters who've helped in the journey that you are now completing, at least this milestone. So if we could all clap our hands for our family and friends. Thank you. So as you've reached this most critical milestone of many years of hard work, ups and downs, and many successes, I want to talk a little bit about the next 20 to 30 years, because we're going to need your leadership like we've never needed it before. And I think that the time that you are going to be leading is going to be literally one of the most exciting times in human history. We've got so many different forces coming together at one time like we've not seen before. We are at the very beginnings of an incredible technology revolution, and you are very much in the center of that, in the forefront. This university is. But already in these early stages, it's disrupting every single organization, sector, and even science itself. I think the implications are going to be profound. I was just recently at a conference where Henry Kissinger was talking, and Henry Kissinger has decided that he now wants to go into AI. He doesn't claim to understand it, but what he's concerned about is saying we need the philosophy to go along with the AI because this is such a profound area of change. The second force, which in and of itself would make this time historic, is the power shift from the west to the east. For the last 250 years, the economic center of the world has been in the west. That is pivoting back to where it has been for the last 3,000 years. And I think the diversity of the students at Waterloo, which represent not only the west but the east, is going to be incredibly important as you think ahead. But that is where the center of power is shifting, and it's important that we be a part of that and participate in that part of the world. The third shift that's going on is actually one of demographics, and that's aging. We are becoming literally the oldest planet that we've ever been in terms of the human race. In the next 3 years, we're going to have more people over the age of 65 than under the age of 14. And as I like to say, as I get older, I think that's not a bad thing. Having a lot of old people around is good. I think the world will be better. But it means we're going to have to change some of the way we do things and the way we work, because how we look at productivity depends on labor force participation. And we tend to take people out of the workforce at 65 at the latest. It's going to have very big implications on growth and GDP growth. It's also going to have big implications on healthcare costs, because we will not be able to afford to provide the care that we do today to the size of that population. Just to give you one number, in China today, there are 269 million people over the age of 65, right? And that's why, again, one of the reasons I love the longevity and the aging initiative that's going on at Waterloo. It's a global need, but that's a big change. And the fourth change, also at the same time, is a feeling of frustration that many people, particularly the middle classes around the world, are having with the system. It's not working. 500 million people in North America and Western Europe have experienced flat to declining income in the last 15 years. And they're not happy. They don't deserve to be happy, they don't deserve to feel that it should be any different. They want it to be different, and they're going to expect it to be different. And that's going to mean there's going to be innovations on policy. There has to be, because the current system is not working for everyone. So that's the kind of the concoction that you are going to be dealing with. And I could go into climate change and many other aspects of that, but there is a huge amount of change, and we're going to need leadership. And I believe that Waterloo will have positioned you well to be able to take on those challenges, from the skills that you've learned, from the way things are taught. And I say this as an outsider. I never got into Waterloo. I wasn't qualified enough. My marks wouldn't be high enough to get into this place. But I've observed what Waterloo graduates do around the world in various different capacities in leadership roles. And just again, recently I was at a conference, this was 10 days ago, on outer space. The topic of the conference was, will we have a Cold War and conflict in outer space? How do we design the regulations for that future? And it was all getting pretty morose in the discussion until there was a pretty profound question that came from one of the participants. And that question, which changed the whole discussion, was, I'm tired of hearing about what conflict is going to mean in outer space. My question for the group is, how long will it take us until we have 100,000 humans living in outer space? And at first people wondered if this person was on mushrooms, or maybe the cannabis thing in Canada had really come into play. As it turned out, it was a Waterloo grad that asked that question from about 25 years ago. And it's the notion of asking bold questions, being curious, challenging the orthodoxies. We're going to need that as we go ahead. So we're all looking forward to your leadership over the next 20 to 30 years. So I want to close just with a little bit on the formalities about what's going to be happening this morning. First, we're going to confer an honorary degree on a very special individual who has a history with Waterloo, but has also been spending time in many other parts of the world, made extraordinary contributions to society and also this university. You'll hear more about that. We're going to confer bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. We'll do it in that order. And then we're going to give awards to a faculty member who's excelled in their field. There will also be medals interspersed throughout the proceeding for graduating students who've excelled in their studies. So that's sort of the process. I would please ask that we spend as much attention that we do on the first group that comes up, that we spend that attention on the last group. We've got a large group of people. This is a special day for everyone, so let's all focus. Please do not leave. We need to be here to celebrate this important day for everyone. Now, I've spent most of my career trying to help predict the future for leaders. I've often been wrong. My prediction for this convocation is it should take around 2 hours. I think I'm going to be pushing it given the size of the group, but we'll see. What I would like to say again, though, is congratulations, and then hand over so we can get the proceedings moving to Vasily Karanosius, who's professor at the Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Science, to the podium. Thank you very much.
Well, I guess it's all ready for me. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Rocky Nathan. Rocky Nathan obtained his bachelor's degree from Leeds University and his master's and doctoral degrees from the University of Alberta. From 1989 to 2005, he was a professor in UW's Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. In 2005, he moved to the London Centre for Nanotechnology, or UCL, at UK, where he held the Sumitomo Chair in Nanotechnology. In 2011, he moved as the colleague there to the Department of Engineering of Cambridge University in the UK, where he held the Chair of Photonic Systems and Displays in the Center of Advanced Photonics and Electronics. Currently, he serves as the Chief Technology Officer of Cambridge Touch Technology, one of the companies he co-founded. While at the University of Waterloo, Rocky Nathan helped found or co-found 2 semiconductor fabrication facilities, the Giga2Nano Lab and the Quantum Nano Fab. Rocky Nathan is also a co-founder of a worldwide unique degree program in nanotechnology engineering. Since 2005, the program has been accepting about 100 undergraduate students per year. Graduate degree programs in nano are now offered by many departments across UW. A multi-million-dollar building, the Mike and Ophelia Lazaridis Quantum Nano Center, has been erected to house this program and its laboratories. This led to UW creating 24 new faculty positions. 7 positions were allocated to chemistry, 7 to electrical engineering, 7 to chemical engineering, 2 to arts, and 1 to applied math to teach nano-related courses. These developments affected and are expected to continue to affect in the foreseeable future the lives and careers and career aspirations of many. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of these outstanding and long-lasting contributions to the University of Waterloo, to the wider academic community, I request that you bestow the title of Doctor of Science honoris causa upon Arakia Nathan.
Congratulations. I'm honored to confer upon you, Arokia Nathan, the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. I extend my sincere congratulations.
I now invite Dr. Nathan to the podium to address the convocation.
Thank you, Vasily, for the kind introduction. Honorable Vice Chancellor, distinguished faculty, very importantly, the esteemed graduates and their proud parents. I'm honored, at the same time humbled, to receive this Doctor of Science degree, honoris causa, and to address the graduates. Now, it's with great pleasure that I stand in front of you, who, in my mind, are going through the most important time of your lives. You're moving from an environment where you've been well nurtured and looked after, and now you're going to face the real world. So looking at your bright young faces, it brings me some wonderful memories, and with great pride and joy when I celebrated being called a bachelor. Not because I was single at that time, but being given a degree for the first time in one's life after a buildup of 4 anxious years of upper secondary schooling. Now, that felt very special. I hope you feel the same and cherish this wonderful moment. So needless to say, my memories become even more special when I think of those days when I had original teeth, original hair, and not a glimmer of the thought that I could age. Not that I'm good at numbers, but I keep getting reminded that age is just a number. I'd like to bring you a special message. I'll talk about the details later, but for now, this relates to humanitarian engineering. You'll be hearing me say the word engineering many times over, and some of you may be wondering why the word engineering keeps coming up in a science convocation. Now, engineering is merely a profession which involves putting science to work. I cannot vouch for every discipline, but in many fields of engineering, the best engineers are graduates of science. So while both science and engineering involve observation and analysis, the profession of engineering deals with creating and working on already existing creations on well-established science. So very profoundly, the Queen of the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth II, very eloquently quoted, "At its heart, engineering is about using science to find creative, practical solutions." So as a profession, it's noble. So the subject of humanitarian engineering is very close to my heart. So I grew up in Penang, a little island on the west coast of Malaysia, at a time of transition between the British occupation and independence. My parents were children of economic migrants from India, lived through and lived through World War II, partly when Malaysia was under Japanese occupation. I was lucky in that I had electricity and water, and living a life that was much better than the generation of my parents, who had to study under street lamps and kerosene lamps, so sore eyes and breathing issues were quite routine. So growing up at that time in the third world laid the seed of ambition and the determination to succeed under any circumstances. So it was very important for every family to provide post-secondary education to at least one of its offsprings. Bringing the family out of poverty through education, at least by one family member, was something every parent strived to do. Interestingly, I've come across many colleagues who have grown up under deprived circumstances, who are now very successful academics and industrialists worldwide, and who have committed personal resources to help the underprivileged. So now this brings me to what humanitarian engineering encompasses. So it refers to the science, it refers to the use of science to invent, create, design, develop, or improve technologies to promote the well-being of communities that are facing grand humanitarian challenges. Now, these include communities that are fast-growing, highly populated, poor, disaster-hit, underserved, or marginalized communities. So who are these communities? These are highly poverty-stricken communities in Africa and in Latin America, or communities that are suddenly displaced due to disasters brought about by climate change. So extreme poverty is on the rise, and quite dramatically so in areas of Latin America, where current estimates stand at 22 million. In Africa, it stands at 427 million. In Oceania, about 3 million. But in North America, Europe, and Asia, it's less than 3%. I'm talking about extreme poverty. Right? So the total global poverty is reaching 8% of the world population. Then comes climate change, which is displacing people from their homes, bringing poverty on top of poverty. So people in poorer countries are at least 5 times more likely to be displaced by extreme weather than people in well-off countries. So 2017 alone had seen a series of devastating climate disasters in various parts of the world, extreme weather events such as hurricanes in America, deadly heat waves in India, Europe, and elsewhere, and flooding in Southeast Asia. So going from Houston to Jakarta, millions of homes were underwater or blown over, and millions of people were homeless and impoverished. So we know that climatic variations and devastations have happened in the past, but this is a problem that we have at hand, and these climatic variations are only escalating. So how can science help? Now, African countries are blessed with sunlight all year round, and one can tap into this free and clean solar power to light up homes that have no immediate hope of being linked to an electricity grid. The science underlying solar power was discovered more than 100 years ago. So the effect responsible was called the photoelectric effect, and that was discovered in 1887 by the German physicist Heinrich Hertz. And subsequently, through a series of discoveries by Leonard and Thomson, they concluded that sunlight creates electricity in semiconductors, and this electricity is due to electrons. And this led to Einstein to formulate the quantum theory of light. So engineering now has enabled production of rolls and rolls of solar cells at very low cost, and the energy generated to be stored in rolls and rolls of batteries as well, all through advances made in organic electronics. chemistry in particular. Enough energy can be generated to provide light for a child to study or to keep very basic food resources such as milk sufficiently cool overnight. Drinking water is another highly important resource that's likely to become even scarcer in many parts of the world. Crops and livestock struggle to survive in climate change hotspots where conditions become too hot and dry or too cold and wet, threatening livelihoods and exacerbating food insecurity. Again, there are very low-cost household solutions for water purification, such as filtration membranes using titanium dioxide, carbon-based hollow fiber membranes, photocatalytic techniques, and newly emerging biofiltration using algae. A good example that's been put to practical use for making such water from slums safe to drink is the Tata Swatch system. And interestingly, it just uses rice husk impregnated with silver nanoparticles and making the water drinkable. So indeed, nanotechnology comes in very handy as it has led to large-scale production of nanoparticles through well-engineered manufacturing techniques. I say with conviction that you go forth with courage and determination to succeed without forgetting your inner aspirations. I cannot help but share with you the words of Ratan Tata. He is the chairman emeritus of Tata Corporation, which he turned into a global business, acquiring one of the companies was Jaguar Land Rover. Now, he's a great philanthropist, still actively running charitable trusts. And in a convocation address, he said, "You are now in an environment where you have to learn and listen, because the whole world is going to be learning and listening. So your success is going to be your humility." So my simple take-home message is that you put science into action and engineer solutions that address eradication of poverty and betterment of social justice. Humanitarian engineering is one of the biggest, most rewarding areas to work in. And even if this message that I'm delivering resonates with less than 1% of you, your commitment will be an immeasurable contribution to humanity. Thank you.
My name is James Rush, and I'm the university's Vice President, Academic, and Provost. And it gives me great pleasure to thank Dr. Nathan for the powerful message of his address and to welcome him to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Would the members of the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the university that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. I'm now pleased to invite Muzammil Taj to come forward and deliver the valedictory address.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor, the members of Convocation, our guests, and the graduating class of 2019 for giving me the opportunity to say a few words this morning. Welcome, everyone, to the zenith of this academic adventure. Together, let's pause and try to fully exist in this moment. You've spent a long time planning, anticipating, and imagining this event, and in the future, you'll reminisce on the legacy you cemented here today. Convocation was abstract when we were first applying to UW, or writing a 9 a.m. chemistry final, or even submitting our application to graduate not too long ago. But at last, it is here. It is real. And today is the day. Feel the gravity in those words, the gravity of the occasion, and the gravity in the air. The whole 9.8 meters per second squared keeping us grounded. Beyond learning the constants, the principles that govern our world, I think scientifically analyzing nature has taught us many valuable philosophical lessons to apply to our lives. Through bacteria, we learned that with enough energy, you can adapt to any environment. Quantum physics informs us that contrary to popular belief, you should most definitely sweat the small stuff. Geological findings teach us that, like sedimentary rock, our personal success, it grows incrementally over time. And chemical structures show us that some puzzles are so complicated to solve, it's worth enlisting the help of a computer. Learning this all may have seemed like an insurmountable task at the time, but at Waterloo, achieving the impossible, it's just what we do. What makes today so special is that we get to share our accomplishments with each other, with the people who have always been sitting next to us in study rooms, lecture halls, seminars, at lab benches, and in this room here today. Community is the spark that brings science to life. No matter the size, every great discovery is built on a foundation of collaboration. Contributions from supervisors, teammates, and peers are instrumental to multiplying our own efforts, and support from friends and family drives us forward. Therefore, I'd like to thank my parents, classmates, and the Faculty of Science for helping me find solutions to the hardest problems. And to my friends who had to tolerate my passionate speeches on why nematodes are a very cool and very underrated model organism. I encourage everyone to look around at the amazing support network we have here and to take these connections with us into the future. The truth is, class of 2019, though we've made so many great memories here, the world needs us now, more than ever. Lately, atmospheric greenhouse gas emissions have reached record highs. Antibiotic-resistant pathogens continue to emerge, and the public's faith in the scientific community is in question. Fortunately, we all leave with the fundamental skill that is the core of learning science at Waterloo: how to seek out the toughest questions that challenge the world's best experts and collaborate with others to find innovative solutions. I learned this part of our culture early on when, in my first year after a lecture, I asked my professor a question. Now, the concept related to this question was still being debated by scientists the world over, but rather than just tell me there was no answer, my professor also added, "Maybe you'll be the one to find out." And that's the ethos of being a student, faculty member, or researcher at Waterloo. The hardest questions don't exist to intimidate us, but rather provide us with an opportunity to tackle adversity head on. When the festivities end today and we wake up tomorrow, who will we become? How will we contribute to our communities? Will you build tomorrow's solutions to the problems of today? Or will you follow in the footsteps of our very own Nobel laureate and make a discovery that changes the way we approach problems forevermore? The answers to these questions are robust and complex, but remember what my professor had said those years ago. At Waterloo, we've always been tackling the tough questions. I know that whatever we face, we're well equipped. So, to my fellow graduates, the Waterloo Warriors, the future explorers, adventurers, innovators, teachers, healers, communicators, and discoverers, it is my great honor to be one of many to congratulate you today, the class of 2019.
Thank you very much, Ms. Amo, for your address, which was really an inspired call to action. Good morning once again, Mr. Chancellor, honored guests and participants. I think we're off to a great start, and it's about to get even better. Convocation is perhaps the most rewarding occasion in the life of a university. It evokes our ancient rights and privileges, it recognizes significant accomplishments, and at the same time stirs within us the promise of new beginnings. On behalf of the entire University of Waterloo administration team, I would like to formally thank all of those who have made today possible. You know, convocation literally means the action of calling people together for a large and formal assembly. So it is not possible without all of you to even have a convocation. So to the graduands and to the parents and family and friends of our graduands, especially those of you who have traveled from afar to be here, thank you for making convocation possible. To the university community for developing these scholars and delivering this outstanding event for our new alumni, thank you all for making this possible. And of course, we acknowledge those who have been unable to join us today. Each of us individually feels their presence at this special assembly in our own special ways. May I ask the graduands at this time to remain seated as I invite all of the family, friends, supporters, and event coordinators to rise as you are able. I'd ask the graduands to look around, find your special people, wave, locate where each other are. Experience tells me you're going to hear from each other during this ceremony at various times. You might as well know where each other are. Graduates, would you join me together in thanking all of those who have made your convocation so special? Please be seated. Thank you. As we prepare to confer the degrees, I have just a few technical notes. For those guests wishing to take photos of their graduates, there's a photography area located to the left of the stage, which can be accessed by exiting the back of the gym via the west exit doors and then coming forward to this area. If you approach that area just before your special graduate is crossing the stage, you'll be in a good position to take pictures, and I would just ask that once you have taken those photos, you return to your seats to make room for the next person. And graduates, as the Chancellor asked, it would be great if you would all return to your seats so we can continue to celebrate together through the end and process out together. Now on to the main event. We're going to proceed to the conferring of the degrees, and to that end, I invite Dr. Marley Spafford, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Studies, Faculty of Science, to announce the graduate names.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, General Science, 3-year. Mustafa Nabil Abu Qad, Qassem Ali, Rithika Bina Kumari, Harsh Uday Singh Bhatia, Elizabeth Julie Brown, Jacqueline Bruner, Po Yun Chang, Michael James Corrigan, Naomi Grace Davina. Elizabeth Ada Groman, Michelle Shao Tsi Hung, Harshini Gathatheran Farron. Talakseka Kanagaraja, Jeanette Shireen Khan, Tharsan Kura Bananthan. Christopher Kako, Baravi Kamarasan, Diana Thi Le. Enrico Lee, Murray Edward McGill, Fayad Mohobu. Cecilia Ann Nguyen, Georgina Sarah Amoro, Kasale Ravinin Diran, Megan Kathleen Shepard, Michael Milan Sosterich, Dilraj Singh Tawana, Nizalda Valadeo, Deborah Blanche Walker, Deanne Wang, Kaylee Valerie Wright, Jiawei Zhu, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Science. Suhab Ahmed, Samya Akavaram, Ricardo Albert. Divya Aurora, Anna Asafa Bale, Amin Bangu, Taylor Joy Blackwell, Julianne Christine Burton, Nathan Bush, Rohan Singh Shandiak, Alama Shalari, Andrew Chen, Jasper Chen, Yishanand Chen, Raymond Chu, Amanda Georgina Clark, Joshua Nicholas Clark, Courtney DeVos, Daisy Than Lon Do, Alexa Dobranich, Jennifer Francis Farlow, Zahim Faruqi, Shi Chung Jeffrey Fong, Olubabukola Garba, Caleb Lloyd Gerard, Samadina Ganajajic, Nikhil Goyal, Saveline Gaur Gruel, Gordon Hong, Con Hong, Dana Hong, Riyadh Huha, Jennifer Hu, Annie Mae Huang, Gloria Ida Huan, Islam Mohammed Jamil, Chloe Emily Jang, Samantha Gabriel John, Zhu He Kang, Alexandra Cantor, Kirishani Kisavan, Purya Kashufi, Sajil Ahmad Khan, Ranoma Kandekar, Brian Sung-soon Kim, Elisa Kwan, Kopika Kuthathas, Arthur Kwan Leong Lam, Felix Pui Ki Lam, Linda Lam, John David Lawson, Suhu Lee, Thomas Lee, Oscar Wei Hin Leung, Rachel Leung, Rochelle Lok Young Leung, Nathaniel Ling, Kevin Joshua Man Lav, Aaron Luz, Andrea Mataruga, Deanna Marie McClear, Michael Middlehurst, Dana Metanmen, Titus James Moore, Fatima Morshashidi, Samuel Eugene Munn, Roshni Noreen, Benjamin Man Chun Ning, Hillary Bao Tran Nguyen, Ashley Janine Nicholas, Zephyr Margaret O'Donnell Leipert, Nemo Omar, Amandeep Kaur Pabla, Raymond Jude Paniker, Kathleen Victoria Finnemore, Sankavi Puvanandran, Ethan Zeng Leong Randall, Rida Riatdanshi, Emily Brianna Richards, Joseph Salvador Reales, Krishnan Sani, Sama Sajed, Rihanna Elizabeth Tane Samuel, Abneet Sangha, Aurora Hunter Shellhorn, Zara Sapahi, Mahak Sharma, Patrick Smuzewski. McKenna Szczepanowski. Stephanie Yi Arntam. Janet Tan. Gorby Tandon. Christopher Tran. Tommy Tran. Gurmukh Daimel Verma. Vicky Kayen Tian Vu. Kiana Marissa Walden. Alice Shou. Shou E. Yang. Noor Zarati. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Biochemistry. Jacob Patrick Affolski. Pavan Preet Kaur Basran. Masuda Badar. Javan Alexander Burintinsky. Wing Ying Chan. Shalini Shadare. Fabio Cuzzicoli. Samuel Lerner Diamond. Alexander James Douglas. Robert Matthias Dubagis. Andre Gustavo Escobar Moya. Sandy Feng. Daniel Gavas. Amanda Amy Gozinski. Vincent Hallam. Amanda Nicole Helka. Maddie Ho. Annie Ava Yevchenko. Sabrina Lally. Jamie Lamb. Zhao Yu Lu. Ivy Liu. April Marple. Avril Metcalf Roach. Lindsay Marie Norwood. Peter Pham. Kyle Nicholas Pimentel. Shanice Redicap, Joy Camille Verarul Rosa, Nicole Donna Salapich. Norman Richard Spencer, Claudia Elizabeth Steckel, Jenny Yunyun Tang. Michael Tarasca, Kieran Sky Tarazona Karatalo, Ernest Chung York Tong, Alexandra Brienne Vercoul, Shirley Wang, Michelle Wong. Ka Hei Wu, Tristan Sujan Donna Wu, Christine Allison Yanta. Melissa Yip, Walter Chichel Yip. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Biotechnology, Chartered Professional Accountancy. Yasmin Victoria Azlani. Zhao Chen. Efira Yarakaran. Cindy John, Bo Xuan Lin, Philip Elliott Martin. Emily Ann Piazza, Sheldon Austin Siparasad, Choyu Shi. Fei Tang, Ru Yun Yuan. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Biotechnology, Economics. Daniel Lubavin, Alicia Nazim Morelli, Prithvi Mukesh Patel, Tamisha Dara Romain, Julian Whitting, thank you, Mr. Chancellor.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Chemical Physics. Isaac John Stewart DeVloot. Also the recipient of the University of Waterloo Alumni Gold Medal for outstanding academic performance in a program. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Chemistry. Bhuvana Shunramani, Nina Maria Cullen, Ramanjit Kaur Dillon, Sarah Garisto, Tatiana Gatsak, Edward John Go Ferguson, Amy Jeanette Hall, Max Lucas Hamilton, Eric Hogan, Darren William Herwire, Paul Jalbert, Shuang Kong, Conrad Joseph Kuchalski, Andrew Justin Kukor, Christian Lulich, William Lai, Alexandre Marcotte, Shannon Marie McBride, Jamie Alexandra Millar, Nancy Moreno, Stephen Go, Ku Kok Wen, Kei Kwan, Wen Rong, Grace Kimiko Shimokura, Prashant Surjit Velayudan, Fangshu Yin, Sui Ting Zhao, Thomas Andrew Zhenchuk, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Earth Sciences. Natasha Celine Bell, Cameron Elliott Bose, Adam Charles Calvert, Elisa Dong, Ivan Patrick Edgeworth, Connor Gorey, Almer Vigandra Hondrasville, Carson Kinney, Stephanie Ann Kobylinski, Hanwen May, Cameron Wood, Dihao Wu, Sei Xiang, Yifei Zhang, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Environmental Sciences. Danielle Birch, Emily Rebecca Champion, Catherine Jiaoyu Chen, Benjamin Joseph Petrovich Hartwell, Kevin Kwan Yu Ho, Xusheng Hu, Carly Marie Kemp, Nicole Kuhn, Chao Yu Liu, Joshua A. Nunez, Tanvi Patel, Seema Sadati Kanshir, Peng Yu Tao, Jacob Benjamin Whitehouse, Quinn Noel Worthington, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Life Physics. Sarah Olwyn Harrington Dick, Layla L. Irion, William Stewart Ross Forrest, Megan Chakman Koo, Olivera Crouch, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Materials and Nanosciences. Julian Aristoy Eisner, Yusheng Chang, Tong Chong Chong, Kanva Choksi, G. Dai, Mary Olena Gopanchuk, Yifei Gu, Yu Chao Jiao, Sunny Yat-Chu Lung, Joshua Shikun Liu, Craig Ryan Mackey, Elizabeth Charlotte O'Sullivan, Ahmad Patel, Austin James Richard, Hugh Yu Shi, Jocelyn Camille Van Leuven, Seneca Velling, Natalie Michelle Villeneuve, Jackie Wang, Tianyi Wang, Bin Yang, Wei Zi Yuan, Hong Manlin Zhang, Xiao Meng Zhang, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Mathematical Physics. Emmanuel Allen, Jonathan Airy Barenboim, Matthew John Hyde Burr, Hu Run Feng, Sean Stanley Fruita Powers, Scarlett Savannah Gauthier, Michael Janari, Dilraj Guman, Tim Gordon Hill, Noah Cornelius Jansen, Claire Ellen Luty, Chiao Hao Lee, Ijaz Morali, Sarah Mimi McDonald Muth, Yao Hong Tiao, Lu Yao Wang, James Daniel Willis, Christopher Kin Ming Wong, Chang Zhang, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Medicinal Chemistry. Beverly Abreu, Olivia Marie Schneider, Carrie Vu, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Physics. Lindsay Elizabeth Babcock, Dwayne Charles Byer, Andrew Allen Cox, Jonathan Dimitrios Georgaras, Samantha Emily Orn Jewett, Shyam Krishan, Mitchell Pierce Kuzniar, Benjamin Ledwell, Xiaojing Lei, Chao Ran Lee, Brian Searles, Spencer Allen Celasti, Thomas Samuel Smith, Virgil Dan Soriano, Bryn Tucker, Shupeng Zhang, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Physics and Astronomy. Naspan Malcolm Darukan Namwala, Danielle Ginto, Brandon Hiles, Zarif Asanan Carter, Jake Marion, Aiden Malti, Tristan John Robin Mills, Bavitra Gadunlaswaran, Benjamin Joseph Moreau Nickel, Emily Catherine Pass, also the recipient of the University of Waterloo President's Award of Excellence for the highest standing in an undergraduate degree program. Jiawei Hugh, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Science in Aviation. Shail Gingrich Huska, Sakib Tamid Islam, Nathan Robert Law. Connor Victor Noab. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Science and Business. Amir Hossein Ali Nagyan, Lynn Alzan, Chloe Ann Bini. Danielle Yisan Kadaret, Bradley Christian Carter, Vivian Cho Yang Chan, Sonia Songyan Chow, Kevin Christopher Dano, Manjot Singh Dillon, Jenny Suzanne Doucet, Matthew Spignew Dragon Jetchik, Trashi Dugal, Murat Sinan Erjane, Carissa Elise Fisher, Ivan Galasso, Emmett Aaron Ho, Richie Kanagaraja, Laura Kay, Catherine Nadia Kaburnik, Sai Varshini Kumar, Joyce Yikting Lam, Brittany Maria Lato, Tianyi Liu, Sahil Luthra, Madison Antonietta McKinnon, Tyler Peter Ramos Marquez, Alicia Jacqueline Minarchik, Ashley Wynn, Danny Wynn, Malcolm O'Brien, Hiral Patel, Scott Taylor Rochon, Guy Rom, Shrishti Sabarwal, Bennett Mackenzie Schnur, Aradhika Sethi. Cheng Yi Shi, Muzamil Taj, Michelle Pui Yi Tam. Casper Shabrazian, Melanie Tran, Sarah Elizabeth Wright. KDU, Benjamin George Zamit Mapo. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Sean Wettig, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies, Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Science. Emma Bergeron, George Bobotsis, Khalida Butt. Daniel Adam Sabula, Cirrus Zhu Sarkoskis, Tyler Justin Kufel. Molly Elizabeth Conrad, Dorothea Ildiko Garda, Brittany Glass. Yunyoung Hu, Junhao Lu, Zolt B.K. Molnar. Nayan Muhammad Rana, Jordan Ridzik, Cameron Vickers. Junji Yin, Kaiyang Zhang, Quying Zhang. Mingri Zheng. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. We will now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy, the highest academic degree awarded by universities. Attaining a PhD is no easy task. It involves years of hard work, attainment of subject matter expertise, and a contribution to the sum of human knowledge in a subject area through original research. It is an honor to call upon the following graduates to receive the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Zara Akbarzadeh, Earth Sciences. Tariq Aziz, Earth Sciences, Water. Mansoor Karami, Physics. Nicholas Francis Sean Lanigan, Chemistry. Hyung Hwan Lee, Physics. Jean-Philippe McLean, Physics. Sao Sen Mbark, Physics. Donald George McGillivray, Chemistry, Nanotechnology. Adrian Melage, Earth Sciences, Water. Adrian is also the recipient of the W.B. Pearson Medal for recognition of creative research as presented in a student's doctoral thesis. Ranjun Saran Narayan, Chemistry, Nanotechnology. Keith Kai Chung Eng, Physics. David Pomeransky, Physics. Elizabeth Haldane Preeb, Earth Sciences. Abdus Sabur, Earth Sciences, Water. Matthew Daniel George Schmidt, Chemistry. Bingji Shi, Earth Sciences. Carol Ann Tanner, Chemistry. Giacomo Torle, Physics. Adrian Vantahem, Physics. David Wilson, Earth Sciences. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but who were unable to be present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Feridun Hamdallapur, President and Vice Chancellor, to present the President's Award of Excellence.
The University of Waterloo is proud to introduce the President's Award of Excellence, awarded to recognize the faculty's student with a top graduating average. 3 of these awards are being presented at convocation ceremonies this week to the graduates who have the highest standing in the bachelor's program in the university. One of these certificates will be presented now. Mr. Chancellor, I request that you present the President's Award of Excellence for 2019 to Emily Catherine Pass. Emily, don't leave that. Just wait a second. I want to add a few my own words. I met her a few years back when she first came to the university as one of the top scholarship winners. And last year, I had the pleasure and honor of congratulating her having won all 3 co-op awards. It's like winning the national, global, and extraterrestrial awards all at once. Emily, we are very proud of you. Thank you. We have now the pleasure of presenting Alumni Gold Medal, and for that I'm pleased to invite Allison Boyd, Director of Alumni Relations.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, honored guests. As a fellow University of Waterloo alumnus, it is my pleasure to join you today in celebration of our newest alumni. With each graduating class, we honor extraordinary students whose achievements exceed even our highest expectations. One undergraduate student from each faculty receives an Alumni Gold Medal, which symbolizes not only the student's accomplishments, but also the proud tradition of exploration and leadership to which all of our alumni belong. Graduates, while many of you will embark on new journeys, I encourage you to foster the relationship that you have built with this remarkable university. Waterloo offers many resources to help you achieve your goals. Whether you want to advance your career, explore new ideas, or tackle a complex problem, the university can support you in your endeavors. Take advantage of the services available to you and stay connected to Waterloo's proud alumni who live all over the world. This network is a powerful resource. I speak from experience when I say that getting involved will enrich your life. On behalf of my fellow graduates, allow me to welcome you to our alumni community. Mr. Chancellor, I'm honored to present to you the 2019 recipient of the Alumni Gold Medal for Outstanding Academic Performance in an Undergraduate Program, who has just received a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Physics honors from the Faculty of Science, Isaac John Stewart DeFlute. I now invite Feridun Hamdalapur, President and Vice Chancellor, to the podium.
Thank you, Allison. We're almost there. Brand new class of 2019 Faculty of Science. You look absolutely fantastic. Congratulations. Mr. Chancellor, as you heard from many of our students and others, that we rise up to challenges. We heard you well, and we kept this under 2 hours. But allow me to share some parting remarks and thoughts with you, graduates. You are now graduates, and you look, as I said, wonderful. A few years back, when you started your journey here at the University of Waterloo, we welcome you to the university, and we congratulated you for having made a very important decision that you wanted to pursue a university degree. And more so, you wanted to do it here at the University of Waterloo. But given your excellence and fabulous background, you could have done this anywhere you wanted. You chose to do it here. But we also cautioned you. We also told you that this university will be with you all the way, but it will require hard work. We will challenge you. We will throw some curveballs at you. And you rose up to those challenges. We asked you to make a promise that you will meet us here at your convocation, and you are all here. I thank you very much for keeping your promise. Supporters of our students, parents, friends, siblings, thank you so much for being here for them. Thank you so much for supporting them throughout their studies. Thank you so much for not trying to do their assignments for them. And thank you for helping some of them for their tuition. We appreciated that. And I like to express my gratitude to my faculty colleagues and staff for being with them again all the way. I think they were as passionate about you as you are yourselves. And the reason why you are here is probably has a lot to do with how passionate they were about your studies. So I thank them on your behalf. As was mentioned by our honorary degree recipient, by our Chancellor, and by our valedictorian, that the world is going to be a different world than the one when you started here at the university. It has so many fantastic challenges. It has so many great opportunities. And from what I heard from you as you were crossing the stage, it was fabulous to hear about your plans. They are going to do some marvelous things, the things that we never heard of. They are passionate, they are courageous, and they have what it takes to rise up to those challenges. As we are looking into the future, I feel extremely proud, extremely confident that you're going out there and you're going to do some great things and you're going to make us very proud. You're joining 210,000 very strong University of Waterloo alumni family. Your university also is very determined. We are ambitious. We also want to make sure that we are there, we will be there for the next students, next graduates. And you will help us because it's your time to give us advice. We are done with advising you. You will tell us how we're doing. Please keep your engagement with us. And lastly, let me tell you, this is the largest number of PhD graduates I'm seeing so far. And I thank you for your hard work, your dedication, for passion. I know what it takes to sleep with it, live with it, eat with it, and you've done it. Thank you so much for spending the last 4, 5, 6, maybe a little bit longer years with us. You make us very proud. Thank you. Congratulations. Mr. Chancellor, over to you.
Convocation is adjourned.